Welcome to the channel. My name is Coach and I'm your go-to source for everything relating to WWE Evolve. And I want to apologize. Last week I didn't get an Evolve video out. Unfortunately, I was a bit sick. I still managed to get my TNA video out, but I didn't get Evolve. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to go over a skipped week. So we're back like we always do, and let's cover tonight's show, which was honestly full of storyline progression. Not a lot of matches, but so many storyline progressions that happened tonight. So the show opened with Stevie Turner making a major announcement that she brought in Chase U tonight for a tag team match, and along with that, in 3 weeks we will have Evolve Succession, a kind of pay-per-view like special event where both the men and women's Evolve championship will be defended on the very same show. I don't think that's happened before. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that's happened before, so that's gonna be pretty cool. Hopefully we get another match on the card too, so that it feels like a really big deal. But just that, it has me very excited. And tonight's whole show was essentially about determining who's gonna be their #1 contenders. So the show opens officially with Kendal Grey coming down to the ring, and she talks her shit, deservedly so. She made last week Wendy Chu say "I quit," which was the first time Wendy Chu spoke, which is pretty insane and a high honor for Kendal Grey. And tonight, she is after that Evolve Women's Championship. Kali Armstrong comes out, but the two don't even have a chance to bicker for too long before Chantel Monroe comes out too. She also wants a shot at that championship. Since her last World Championship match, she didn't lose. She wasn't the one pinned, and then she proceeded to get rid of Kylie Rae too, which is kind of cool for her. But with all three women in the ring, it causes Stevie Turner to come out, and Kali Armstrong stops her before she can talk and says that she knows what Stevie Turner is thinking, make this a triple threat match, but she begs Stevie Turner to just give her the opportunity to defend the championship in a one-on-one match. Stevie Turner really likes the idea and makes it tonight that Kendal Grey versus Chantel Monroe in a #1 contendership match. The winner will face Kali Armstrong. So that's our main event for tonight, which we're gonna get to soon. But after this, we have a weird Shawn Legacy backstage segment where Shawn Legacy is in the performance center and he asks this guy if he's seen his trunks because Shawn Legacy can't find his trunks. The guy says no, but when Shawn Legacy leaves, the guy later leaves the building too, and he's wearing Shawn Legacy's trunks. I don't know what that's all about, but that was weird, but like kind of funny, but I don't know what that was about. It was weird. And then says it's Evolve time. So yeah, that was weird and it's worth mentioning, but it definitely stood out. But then we cut to another backstage segment where the entirety of the Vanity Project is sitting backstage, and Stevie Turner comes up where Jackson Drake just gets pissed at her. He's upset that Kali Armstrong gets to know who her opponent is, but that he doesn't, and he starts referring to himself in the third person, and Stevie Turner tells him to stop. Ricky Smokes also starts flirting with Stevie Turner, so a lot going on. But Stevie Turner ultimately decides that she's gonna make a match between Keanu Carver and Brooks Jensen next week, and the winner will face Jackson Drake. We get a bit of Jackson Drake's thoughts about this after the following match, which is Swipe Right versus Chase University. This was a really great match. I love how much attention the tag team division is getting on Evolve. It's probably the best tag team division in WWE outside of maybe SmackDown. It's way better than NXT's. Even though Chase U is an NXT tag team, I really felt more attached to them in tonight's show than I really ever have in NXT, and that's a big credit to Evolve. But it is Swipe Right that gets the victory over Chase U, which is pretty big for them. They defeated an NXT tag team. Regardless of how good that NXT tag team is, it's a team that's technically above them. I also love Swipe Right's finisher, the Super Swipe, looks really great. Happy for Swipe Right to get the victory. After the match, they all stand in the ring, and Jackson Drake starts talking shit about Bryce Donovan, blaming her for their loss last week, and now Swipe Right is putting them back on track. So eventually something has to happen with Bryce Donovan. I don't know if he's gonna cost Jackson Drake the championship, or if he's gonna be the next challenger after Jackson Drake possibly retains, but like, I'm so hyped for this. Who would have thought at the very first episode of Evolve that Bryce Donovan would have one of the most entertaining stories. Like, I talked a lot of shit about him when he first debuted, I'm not even gonna lie to you. So it's cool seeing him actually have a story and someone being like, feeling kind of empathetic towards him, being like, damn dude, they're treating you like trash, I want to see you get your comeback. But after he's done talking his shit, Jackson Drake then sends Bryce Donovan to solve the Keanu Carver Brooks Jensen problem. So I'm curious to see how he gets involved next week. It's probably gonna go terribly. Bryce Donovan's probably gonna cause some massive issue that's gonna piss Jackson Drake off, and that's probably gonna be the next catalyst. Either way, so hyped to see what happens here. Then we head backstage again for a bunch of stuff. Jackson Presley and Harley Riggins are backstage, and they're talking about Stevie Turner potentially bringing in Evolve Tag Team Champions. And yes, It's being mentioned. It's finally been mentioned recently, and I'm so hyped for this. There has to be, maybe at Succession, we can get tag team championships. There's so many teams, and there's probably not enough time for a tournament. But what if we have a gauntlet match? Put all the teams in a gauntlet match. Winners take the first Evolve Tag Team Championships. I think that's a good idea. But Jax Presley gets a text message and it says that Adrenaline Drip has requested a rematch against the two of them. Harley Riggins is so down, so Jackson Presley and Harley Riggins send a message. Next week, we're getting Jax Presley and Harley Riggins versus Adrenaline Drip, a rematch, which should be pretty good. I wonder if they're just gonna beat them down again, or if Adrenaline Drip's gonna get their rematch and it's gonna turn into a third match. You know, I would like that. I love the tag team division just getting attention. Said it earlier, but it's great. The tag team division is so alive. What is not alive though is the tag team between It's Gal and Jamar Hampton. Unfortunately, Stevie Turner has to break the news to It's Gal that Jamar Hampton cracked his rib bone and he's out indefinitely, so It's Gal is alone right now, and I love the way they treated it. It's Gal treats it like Jamar Hampton was working out too much and he can't keep up with It's Gal, and that's why he's out. Now I hope It's Gal is okay, because he struggled to get TV time up until he got this opportunity with Jamar Hampton. It was such a cool tag team, so I hope it's not anything that hampers him. Like, I don't want to see him put in a different tag team, although that could work, but I do hope he gets like at least a singles run in the meantime. I just hope he gets the opportunity to do something still, and this doesn't hamper all of his momentum. Rich Holland also comes up and he wants a shot at the Evolve Championship, but Tate Wilder interrupts him, and Tate Wilder doesn't want a rematch. He's just here to say that he's not ready for a rematch, but he will be eventually, which is like, okay, I get you wanted to do this segment, but that's a weird way to get him involved. Regardless, I'm happy we're not straight running back Rich Holland versus Tate Wilder, actually making it seem like Rich Holland is a massive beast and Tate Wilder has to work up to it. Kind of feels like a similar story to what we're telling with Sean Legacy, now that I think about it. But yeah, I'm just happy Tate Wilder is actually seemingly being pushed, and that this whole feud with Rich Holland is way bigger than we first thought. We also get some predictions from the girls in the locker room about who's gonna win in the main event tonight, and ironically enough, Layla Diggs and Mason Holiday are split. Mason Holiday thinks it's gonna be Chantel Monroe, which very interesting with some of the rumors of her turning heel. Her siding with Chantel Monroe is interesting, but Layla Diggs thinks it's Kendal Grey, so like, I don't think they're gonna split up, but there's like definitely something that could be brewing there. And then Nikita Lyons doesn't care who wins because she's upset that she hasn't gotten her one-on-one shot at Kali Armstrong yet, so that's also something to look out for. Maybe down the line, like whoever wins between Kendal Grey and Kali Armstrong might have to face Nikita Lyons first. And then Wendy Chu speaks again. She says this is harder than I first thought, so I like this. Initially I thought she was gonna turn babyface, but now the fact that she hasn't and that she's speaking, it adds a whole different layer to Wendy Chu. And I'm so curious to see what we're doing with this. Like, there's so many interesting elements. I don't know where exactly we're going, and I love it because like, what exactly is Wendy Chu doing now? Maybe she can still turn babyface, but the fact that she's speaking now and not exactly saying a lot kind of makes her more menacing. Maybe she becomes something like the Riddler from Batman. Maybe, I don't know. And then in the main event, we had an absolute banger of a match between Chantel Monroe and Kendal Grey. God, Chantel Monroe, no, Kendal Grey is good. Kendal Grey is very good, but tonight we're focusing on Chantel Monroe, who is so damn amazing. I even texted the group chat I do Evolve with how good Chantel Monroe is immediately after that match. She impressed me a lot. Her super kick looked so good. She's just really talented. I know Layla Diggs is the person I always gush over on Evolve as my girl, the girl I support as much, but I think I might have to switch up. I think I might have to go with Chantel Monroe. She's really good in the ring, maybe not as good as some of the other girls, but she's up there. And then along with that, her character work is so good. She's amazing. Although she lost, Kendal Grey picked up the victory, which is the result that makes the most sense. I truly do believe Kendal Grey is going to go ahead and win that Evolve Women's Championship, and Kali Armstrong is going to go up because Kali Armstrong's just on a different level. But Carly Bright comes to celebrate with Kendal Grey after the match, and then Kali Armstrong also comes up to look, and the two have a little stare down. Man, this match, it's going to be hype, and I'm excited for the build we get, because already this match has so much potential to be an all-time classic for Evolve. And that's my review for Evolve. Tonight was another perfect 10 out of 10 show. I can't complain about everything. Everything was perfect. It was the one Evolve. It's just the best show. Seriously, if you don't watch Evolve, you're missing out on so much great wrestling content that it's unbelievable. I don't know why you don't watch it. Seriously, turn Evolve on. It's on YouTube. If you're anywhere else in the world except America. It's on Tubi if you're in America. I don't know a lot about that stuff because I don't live there. So please leave a like, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I cover Evolve every single week along with TNA and NXT. And then tonight, later tonight, I'm doing a podcast on PUWF with a bunch of cool people that you should really also subscribe to. We're gonna just talk about Evolve and rank every wrestler that has appeared on Evolve. So seriously, it's gonna be a lot of fun. You should come tune in. So I hope to see you guys again soon. Goodbye, everyone.